Do I smell a road trip?
That could be my breath.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Real Movie Guys channel. I am John, and I'm going to be doing a real review of SpongeBob, the sponge on a run. This is pretty much SpongeBob's adventure to find somebody he really cares about. I just want to start off right here saying that I'm a huge SpongeBob fan. I love the cartoon. It's just one of those things that you can turn on at any time and always enjoy yourself. The movie before this one, the SpongeBob movie, Out of Water, I didn't like that movie at all. So going into this movie, I didn't have huge expectations, but I was a little nervous, to be honest. So let's just talk about some of the huge roles in this movie. At first, we have the amazing Keanu Reeves playing Sage, talking head in a tumbleweed. He gives SpongeBob and Patrick some great advice through each thing. As you see with many adventures, they go to different places. This one's kind of cool because they go back into a Western. Also, we have the amazing Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg doesn't play a huge part in this movie, but I found like the scene that he was in when he's singing and rapping and talking and dancing, I feel like this scene was one of the most memorable scenes in this movie. The story for this movie, SpongeBob, he's looking for his pet Gary, who is stolen by, of course, none other than Plankton. He's always trying to get his hands on the Krusty Krab recipe. Interesting in this movie, you kind of find out how important really is the Krusty Krab recipe to making this whole Krusty Krab run. So you tag along with SpongeBob and Patrick. They visit different places. I talk about like the whole Western scene. It was kind of actually interesting the way they woven them into the Western scene. And it's also cool like the interactions that they had like with the ghost and all this other stuff. The one thing I will talk about that I really didn't really like about this movie, I like how they are on the TV show, but every time they put them up to the big screen, their animation style is just not as good. I would prefer the one that they have in the TV show. It just looks better, it flows better. Throughout this whole movie, they're telling you little stories and like giving you like almost like life advice throughout this movie, which I think is always good and interesting for a kids movie to like just always throw in a little bit of knowledge and things that just like to help people. I think the whole point of say this movie, how much SpongeBob really meant to each person and how important you are in life to somebody else. It's very interesting too how they go back to like when each of these characters first met, which I thought was like a really cool little concept, like a little flashback to like when Sandy met SpongeBob and when SpongeBob met Patrick. I kind of wanted to see more about that, them going back in time. So for overall the story, it's a kid's story through a SpongeBob movie, but I thought it was entertaining. It wasn't slow paced. I felt like everything had its spot. Everything was placed perfectly. At the end of this movie, I felt like it was a great movie. A great little adventure that you go on with SpongeBob, with Patrick, and you just kind of go through like interesting things, and it's always like happy-go-lucky. It's not like a typical SpongeBob episode where it's just placed in Bikini Bottom. They go outside of Bikini Bottom. Overall, I'd give this movie a B.
We're two dudes setting out with a common goal. We'll argue about something dumb, fight and break up, only to come back together when we realize neither could do it without the other. It's simple, yet magical.
I felt like it was entertaining. It was good. Snoop Dogg was hilarious. Keanu Reeves popping up all the time in this little tumbleweed. I thought that was very entertaining and like a better way of showing it than like the normal like, oh, I have a voice in my head. And I felt like each character played a decent role in this movie. And I also felt like the way that the animation of like each scene was done was very well.
If you guys like what you've seen here today, consider giving this video a like and leaving your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to stay up to date with everything Real Movie Guys related, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget, all you audio listeners at home, we are available on many podcasting platforms. Just search The Real Movie Guys, you should pop right up. Thank you again all so much for joining us on this episode of The Real Review. We are The Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. Catch you next time.